The college football experience, Air Force Falcons at the Wyoming Cowboys game preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Air Force Falcons at the Wyoming Cowboys game preview episode for Friday night's game. I can't wait for this action. You know I love Mountain West football, and you know I love this rivalry. This game has been happening since the 1950s. Yes, and we're going to get another classic, it appears, Friday night. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
We got a barn burner. We're going to Laramie. And this one should be a fantastic game. And I mean, look, I just let me give me the music for the Air Force Academy, the unofficial music for the Air Force Academy. Oh, just absolute fire there. Shout out to the movie Iron Eagle. If you know, you know, people. But Air Force, Troy Calhoun has been up to it again as they looked great so far this season, opening up the season with the win against Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa was a solid FCS, not a great FCS, but a solid FCS. They always give Iowa State trouble. They always give Iowa trouble. They've got a lot of players that have made the league. So, that was an impressive win. I guess I thought it would be because Northern Iowa is kind of a defensive team, and I thought that would be more of a fight, knowing that they had a month to prepare for the triple option. But no, Air Force just buried them 48-17. Shows you how good Troy Calhoun has this roster rolling. And then they took out the Colorado Buffaloes, a Power 5. I mean, and they won 41-10 in Colorado Springs. So off to a 2-0 start and really looking great. I know you can pull up all the stats. Haaziq Daniels was just 1 of 5 for 8 yards passing, and they beat a Power 5 school by 31 points. That's why more teams should run the triple option. I mean, look, this is a team that is definitely, he's done this over the past few years. It's not just a one and done thing here. This would be if he has another double digit win season, this will be his 3rd and 4th seasons, I believe. So getting it done. And Brad Roberts, just a monster. If you listen to our DFS show, me and NC Nick both had to roster him. He had 24 rushes for 174 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Buffs. And that defense just continues to impress as they were able to hold Colorado to just 162 total yards. Now to credit the Buffs, their offense sucks. They were 129th out of 130 a season ago. So they were but Air Force still, they did their job. Held them to 162 yards total offense. Colorado was just 1 of 11 on 3rd down. I mean, that's terrible. They should fire everybody, in my opinion. But still, a great job. Air Force lost their defensive coordinator to Virginia this past year. Tony Elliott went and hired him. So it was the next man up mentality. They were a top 10 defense a year ago, and it's looking like it could be again this season. I know Northern Iowa's not known for their offense. I know Colorado's not known for their offense, but the Wyoming Cowboys aren't known for their offense. So this one should be very interesting. As Air Force continues to, and you got to think with the Mountain West a little bit down as far as, I mean, Utah State just got smacked by Weber State, crosstown rival. They won the Mountain West last year. Now I think that was a little bit of fool's gold. They got extremely lucky, but they're still a quality team. And I didn't see that one coming. I thought maybe Weber would hang in there, but the way they whooped their ass makes me wonder a little bit. And then obviously Hawaii, I think is potentially the worst team in America. I think for the FBS, I think Hawaii and Charlotte are battling for the worst team in the country currently. Maybe Akron in that mix, but I kind of think Hawaii is the worst team in the nation. And then you have Nevada, who just lost to Incarnate Word in FCS. Now Incarnate Word, I think, is going to be pretty good in the FCS. I think they're going to be a playoff team, but it's still a bad loss. And I think with Hawaii is normally decent, Nevada's normally good. And then Colorado State with Norvell in year one. I think that the Mountain West a little bit down. Boise's not the same Boise. So could Air Force capitalize on that? And perhaps they're the best team in the Mountain West. I think it's really right now. I think you got Boise's still good. Boise, Fresno, San Diego State, and Air Force, I think will be fine. I think those will still be 4 good teams. San Jose State, maybe. Wyoming lost a ton. We'll see. They've won 2 in a row. This is a critical game though, because with Air Force having Nevada in Colorado Springs next week, they're really, if they can get this dub in Laramie, I mean, I think they'll be undefeated heading into at least they get Navy in Colorado Springs, but Navy is not looking very good. So they'll probably be undefeated heading into Logan on October 8th to take on the defending champs. Let's talk a little bit about Wyoming, because they got just devastated in the transfer portal. Everyone you can think of that was a key player on this team for the most part last year, gone. They brought in a Bama transfer at DN. We thought, oh, it's going to work out for the year. They opened the season against the Fighting Illini, just got destroyed 38-6, and they just looked like they were not ready. But Craig Bohl is a fantastic coach, and somehow he found a way to get a win against Tulsa, 40-37 in game 2. They've played 3 games, so a little bit of advantage to the Cowboys, depending on how you look at it. Then they took care of Ed McCaffrey in Northern Colorado, but that was a little bit of a dogfight. That was only 9-0 at halftime. Wyoming was winning that one, scored 17 in the 4th. That's concerning. As this offense, you pull up the stats for what Wyoming is doing here. Andrew Peasley, the Utah State transfer, because remember you got to remember they lost Levi Williams to Utah State. Andrew Peasley transfers in from Utah State college football in 2022. He is just completing 55% of his passes for just 5.4 yards of completion. Now, some of that is not his fault. Losing some key pieces, Isaiah Nair, Xavier Valade, and a few others. There's not that much talent on offense. He's got 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's also rushed for over 100 yards. And I think that is a factor we should factor in on this game. I think his legs could be a difference maker in this game. Titus Swen, who it was good on last year's team, he's the new starting back. He's still getting 5 yards a carry, 43 rushes for 214 yards and 3 scores. Him and Dawan McNeely are going to be, I would say, the bread and butter of this offense. Yes, the pass game seems to be improving with Joshua Cobbs and tight end Parker Christensen, also Wyatt Wyland. But I still think the offense is the ground attack. Can they establish the run against Air Force? I think we'll tell the tale if they can win this game or not. They do have a money kicker, I will say, in John Hoyland. So if it is a close game, it'll be interesting to see if perhaps that can pay off. Air Force also been pretty decent kicking the ball as well, using 2 different kickers. Altitude advantage. Normally these play a big factor in these games, but both these schools located in the Rocky Mountains. Laramie is a little bit higher up, so slight edge to Wyoming here. I just think Wyoming is a different type of team at home. They normally on the road, they don't have the offense, especially this season, not the Josh Allen years, to really get things going offensively. But at home, I feel like they normally have a little bit of an edge on teams. So can that offense get flying? I think is one of the big questions going into this game. And then obviously, how many possessions will they get? One thing Air Force does that's great, and I think I mentioned this the other day on the show. I want to say it was last season, and I want to say it was the Army game. I'm not sure. If it wasn't the Army game, it was somewhere late in the season where Air Force had a drive that took up the entire quarter. Now, one of the reasons why the triple offense or the triple option offense is so effective is because it limits your possessions, which then means you have to be super efficient on the possessions you get, which when it comes to offense in the Wyoming Cowboys, they haven't really been efficient since Josh Allen, I would say, on a consistent basis. So I do think those things could play a factor in this game. Is can their defense get stops? If there's one thing I do trust with the Craig Bohl defense, is that I do think they'll find a way to get some stops. I don't know. We're gonna break down what we think this game will do. Also, we'll key in on the over, the under, the spread, and talk about the keys to both teams winning this matchup Friday night. Can't wait for it, as this one is on CBS Sports Network Friday night, 5 p.m. on the West, 8 p.m. on the East. But before we get to all those things, I gotta get us paid. I want to tell you that the college football experience, Air Force Falcons and Wyoming Cowboys game preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the Elias Sports Bureau. Yes, football fans, NFL's regular season is back and better than ever. And look, week 2 is going to kick off. You're going to need a little help placing your bets, locking in your fantasy team. That's why you need to check out Elias Game Plan app. It is the ultimate sports betting and fantasy companion for the NFL, NBA, and MLB. And what's great about this thing is they will give you everything. First off, they're the official statisticians of the NFL. You trusted product there. But they're going to hit you with player news, league validated player stats, team records, expert game analysis for betting, specifically betting. I mean, that's pretty awesome. They'll help you build your fantasy lineups for each week. And it's just something you should check out, because what better than the official statisticians of the NFL? NFL season's here, so don't wait. Download the Elias Game Plan app today. That's ELIAS. And right now, you get a special offer, a 14-day free trial off a monthly subscription plan, but only if you use the promo code SGPN. Find the Elias Game Plan app in the App Store or Google Play Store and use my promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Fubo TV. If you watch football, you need Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football with NFL Red Zone plus games in 4K at no extra charge. They have over 100 channels of live sports and entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. You can watch it on all your devices. You can never miss a game or an episode of your favorite show because it's got included cloud-based DVR. There's no contract, there's no commitment, and you can cancel at any time. Right now, you can try Fubo TV for free for 7 days and get 15% off your next month. Just go to FuboTV.com/SGP. That's FUBOTV.com/SGP. Also brought to you by No House Advantage. Yes, No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. You can play a pick'em contest versus other people for a shot at winning 250 grand in cash. Yes. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for correct picks, and climb the leaderboards for your shot to win big money every single day. Sign up now with the promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app to get a first deposit match up to $25. We're also brought to you by promoguide.us. Yes, promoguide.us is the best place to go if you're interested in plus EV betting strategies and making consistent profits from sports betting. They got daily updates on odd boost and huge cash bonuses from all the major sports books. They got a bet tracker that shows everything you can think of. Gotta hop in, get this stuff. If you're not already using mathematical models to help you with your picks, you are truly missing out on an insanely valuable tool. So go to promoguide.us and check out their 100% tracked, transparent, and proven method for betting smarter. Once again, that's promoguide.us. You get consistency, and consistency gets you profit. Promoguide.us. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper's the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of different players. You probably already have a league on there. I know I do. It is a game-changing product unlike anything else in the industry. And now you can win on Sleeper by playing their brand new over-under game, which I didn't. I did it all last weekend. I actually hit for stacking the money green in Vegas. It's fantastic. You select 2 or more players you like based on their stat projections. You select whether you want the over or the under. And at that point, it's like a parlay. And you can win anywhere from 2 times to over 20 times the amount of money you put into it. So right now on your mobile phone, join our listener group on Sleeper at sleeper.com/SGP. Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. Once again, that's promo code SGP. All right. We got a lot of ads these days. Football. It's good. It's good to be in the business. Back talking Wyoming and Air Force. And this is a awesome game because the history of this game. Like I said, they've been playing this since the 1950s. Air Force only has a 4-game lead on Wyoming, so it's swung back and forth. As the last 2 times they've played were both in Colorado Springs, believe it or not. Got to remember, COVID wiped out a year here, and Air Force was able to get those wins. You look back on it, Air Force won by 10 a season ago and by 14 back in 2019. But those games were in much further along in the season. I think that was late November and late October in both of those. And it's interesting because if you bring up the stats from those games, you'll see, they were kind of close games. Wyoming was like last year's game. Wyoming and Air Force was tied up at 14-14 at the half. And these teams, I think they're a good match because they both are run heavy teams that play pretty good defense. I mean, Air Force, like I said, they were a top 10 defense a season ago. Craig Bohl keeps, I'd say, the strength of Wyoming in his era or his reign as coach of the Cowboys has been the defensive side of the ball. I know you could say Josh Allen, some great running backs were there. I still say the defensive side of the ball is what made them. And what's crazy is you look at last year, like I said, big win for Air Force, but they only had about 60 more yards of offense. Turnovers have been huge in these games, because they're kind of mirror image. I know Air Force or Wyoming doesn't run the triple option, but they run a ton. They're still a run heavy football team, and when you have those 2 elements, they're kind of mirror images, in my opinion. So I'm looking back at the game in 2019, and that was interesting. Air Force was up 7-0 at halftime. As they ended up winning 20-6. But once again, these games a bit closer than the score, indicates, essentially, because you pull up the stats. I mean, Wyoming was right there in yardage. It wasn't that big of a gap. I'd say Air Force the past two games, and those were in Colorado Springs, has won the yardage by what? I mean, I think this one's about 75 yards. So 60 and 75 yards. You're talking turnovers are the differences in these games. Who's going to take better care of the ball? Is it going to be Andrew Peasley in game 4 as the Wyoming Cowboys quarterback, or Haaziq Daniels, the experienced veteran? But I will say this: when you play triple option, you end up pitching the ball. You're susceptible to some fumbles at sometimes. I mean, Brad Roberts fumbled against the Buffs last week. Another thing though, that is something we should note is the fact that Air Force hasn't won in Laramie since 2012. Yes. So Craig Bohl, I think he came in 13. He hasn't lost to Air Force in Laramie, which is interesting because you pull up the line on this game and you'll see, you're like, hey, okay, let me make sense of this. I am seeing currently at WinBet, Air Force is laying 15 points. The over under is at 45.5, which is interesting because like I said, if you pull up the last two matchups, you do have what, that was 38 a season ago, 26 the year before. And then you had, in 18 in Laramie when Wyoming won by 8, you had one that would have hit the over, but even the one prior to that, 42. It's going to be interesting to see because I'd say this on first thought, I lean under because I just don't think Wyoming's offense is what it was under Levi Williams, under Josh Allen, even Sean Chambers. So I'm gonna say the under is the first play we should do here. The keys to victory for me. Let's take a look at the Air Force Falcons. All right, I think obviously the air attack. One of the best things about triple option, look, they were just 1 of 4 last week against Colorado. But when you go to the air, your players are wide open because the defense just fears the run. They fear it and they fear it and they fear it. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, they're passing the ball. But also taking care of the rock. I think they'll have that. I look for Brad Roberts and John Lee Eldrige III to have big games. I think they're going to get the bulk of the carries, that and Daniels running the ball. As far as receiving the ball, I'd say I'm a bit surprised they haven't had more like a little more success in the air because I thought they brought back some key players, especially at the tight end position. Special teams, I'll call it a wash. Secondary, I will say the Air Force secondary is a huge X factor because these safeties are really good. Trey Taylor leads the team in tackles. Also, Camby Goff is a beast. He's already got 2 interceptions on the season. And with Peasley kind of inexperienced, but Peasley, here's something you don't know. Peasley was the starting quarterback for Utah State when they beat Air Force a season ago. So I do think, that will be an X factor, taking care of the ball. I expect this to be a close game as far as yardage goes. I think Air Force, if I had to guess, I would say Air Force will have 100 more yards of offense than Wyoming. But I do think this is going to be a closer game than what people are expecting it to be. Let's get to it. Let me get us paid one more time, folks. I'm sorry. I have a lot of ad reads going on today or this month. I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Run Your Pool. Yes. Run Your Pool is introducing a brand new VIP area, a brand new subscription service from Run Your Pool that helps you get an extra edge against the books, plus exclusive access to real money pools, which is always fantastic. And right now they're giving $5,000 out for their weekly pools. Get in there. They also have a season long one with $100K on the line there. Use the promo code SGPN VIP at runyourpool.com/VIP and get 50% off your first month. That is 50% off your first month of Run Your Pool. So check that out. SGPN VIP at runyourpool.com/VIP. We're also brought to you by Odds Trader. Yes, Odds Trader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get the best deal possible. The app also provides player game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather, It also has a bet tracker, which I love. It helps me get organized. So check out, go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Sling. It's college football season, which means you need the unbeatable coverage of Sling TV starting at $35 a month. Sling has all the biggest games on the biggest channels like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, SEC Network, ACC Network, Fox, and the Big Ten Network, all for the best price. You can stream it on any device, record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. You can pause or change your service at any time. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. All right, we are back talking a little Mountain West college football.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
And I am very excited for this matchup here. Here's my prediction. I think Air Force is the better team, clearly. But I think their style of ball, it's like when they play Army or Navy, or when, really good Navy team plays Army, or a really good Army team plays Navy. I expect that their styles are so similar. So with the spread this big, I think you have to take the Wyoming Cowboys. I know Air Force is really good and could be the champions of the Mountain West. I just think on the road where they haven't won in what, a decade in Laramie, I think Wyoming is going to be able to stay in this game despite the much worse offense and the much worse defense. I mean, you look at this, that's another thing though. We're only 3 weeks into the season, folks. And there's many ways that you can break down this, defensive ratings. You could say, oh, well, look, Air Force is the 5th best defense in the nation. They are. That's a fact right now. However, they have played Northern Iowa, offensively challenged for like the past decade, and Colorado, the 129th ranked offense a season ago out of 130. That means they're a little bit fool's gold. Now, Wyoming is not known for their offense. If anything, I think Wyoming's offense is on par with Colorado's offense, with the exception to Titus Swen being a better running back than anyone the Buffs have. But I'll say this: you look defensively and say, well, Wyoming's defense is 112th, and this is where I think it can get misleading because first off, they played 3 games. All right, yes, they played Illinois week 1, and Illinois was able to put up a lot of stats. So they've played a Power 5 on the road, which Air Force hasn't had to do. Then they got Tulsa, who actually can move the ball with Davis Brin and Philip Montgomery. I'd say out of all the teams that have played, Tulsa has the best offense in all out of all 5 of them. And second would be Illinois. And then obviously last week they played Ed McCaffrey and the Northern Colorado Bears, but they suck. And Wyoming did struggle with them way too long. I still say, with all that said, we take the 15 points in the Wyoming Cowboys. This is the way I think it's going to be. I think Air Force will probably be up 14-3 at halftime or something like that. Maybe 17-7, 17-3. I don't know. But at some point, I do think Wyoming is going to find a way to score a touchdown or 2 in this game. And I think that will be enough for Air Force to lose the cover. Give me the 15 points. Give me the team at home. And if Andrew Peasley, that's another thing. If he can make some plays with his feet, I think he can kind of give them a little bit of fits. Air Force wins, but 15 points is too much. What is the money line play on that thing again? It is plus 450. Considering they're undefeated in the past decade against Air Force in Laramie, why not? All it takes is a fumble here, a fumble there, something like that, to really give some strength to the Cowboys. And I was trying to see. Let me see quickly before I get out of here. And I should have had this ready, but the weather and what they perhaps could be calling for Friday night. It's going to be clear. They're lucky this isn't a Thursday night game because it'd be a lot of rain. Either way, I say take the points on the Wyoming Cowboys. Air Force wins. Give me a final score. Give me a final score of 27-17. Air Force gets the dub. Troy Calhoun continues to be the best coach at Nebraska. What are you doing? Call Troy Calhoun. Colorado, what are you doing? Hire Troy Calhoun. These coaches sleep. Craig Bohl is a great coach too. This game's awesome. Can't wait for this one. Folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience because we talk college football year round. And also remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We talk college hoops year round. Wyoming's team is going to be loaded this year. Cannot wait. As we're already doing season preview episodes over there. We come together as one on YouTube as the College Experience, youtube.com/the College Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend, folks. Cannot wait for this matchup. And key to the game, Haaziq Daniels taking care of the rock. That is the key to the game. If he does that, Wyoming will win. If you give them a life though, a little fumble here, fumble there, interception, watch out. Maybe you ride that money line. I'm taking Wyoming in the points. Haaziq Daniels, he's a veteran quarterback though. Air Force gets the win as they continue to press forward as perhaps the best team in the Mountain West. All right, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Come and talk about this game with us. It's always a lot of fun. Hop in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hop in. It's always fun. Just talk at whatever sport, but obviously for college football, hop in. We have a channel for college football there. So do that. And yeah, check out everything else. Get the SGPN app in the App Store, Google Play Store. It's free to download. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. It takes a minute out of your day. Come on, folks. Hop on over there. Do it. All right. This is the College Football Experience, Mountain West style. Give me the points and the Cowboys. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's a great way to get started. And I haven't even blocked all my kids yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
What the fuck did I do wrong, Tom? I didn't come here to study. I didn't here to study. He sucks. He really sucks.
I think tide turning. I see, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of. It's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
Hello, you play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Nice beaver.
How about this now?
Yeah, he felt like shit afterwards. Everybody's booing the shit out of me, but he worked his ass off. There's no smarter coordinator in football.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off. Get my limousine. Ride on 85. Get my Learjet. Woo! And take off to New Orleans.